Good morning, travelers. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find a beautiful sunset today in Ireland. You have 8 hours to accomplish the mission. Good luck and Godspeed.
We heeled into our infill point in Ireland and procured a ride from a local asset at 11:15 a.m. According to our intel, the sunset is at 1700 local time, which means we have 5 hours and 45 minutes to complete our objective. We headed west towards the Wild Atlantic Way, hoping to find a good sunset spot. As we were driving, we saw a beautiful lake and thought we could collect some intel there. When we got closer, we realized the lake was accompanied by the beautiful Glencar waterfalls. We learned that the famous Irish poet W.B. Yeats had mentioned these waterfalls in his poem The Stolen Child, where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar in pools among the rushes that scarce could bathe a star. Beautiful lines befitting the beautiful waterfalls and its surroundings. Glencar Waterfalls is right by the road. It does not involve any hiking. It has public restrooms and parking, and a beautiful lake right by its side. This would be an ideal place for a picnic, but this is not what our mission requires today. So we got back on the road. As we were making our way towards the coast, we saw the stunning, marvelous, flat topped mountain range on County Sligo called the Ben Bulben. We thought if we can climb to the top, we should be able to get a beautiful view of the sunset. But before doing that, we sent our drone to do some recon. We realized that it would take us about 3 hours to climb to the peak. Since we were under a time crunch, we did not want to commit to the climb. We did spend a little time admiring its majestic beauty from the ground. We learned that there is another W.B. Yeats tidbit here. Under bare Ben Bulben's head, in Drumcliff churchyard, Yeats is laid. An ancestor was rector there. Long years ago, a church stands near. These are Yeats' own words, written shortly before his death, specifying how and where he wished to be buried, beneath the cliffs of Ben Bulben. And that's exactly where he lies today. Unfortunately, we did not have time to visit his grave, which is just 15 minutes away. As we kept pushing towards the coast, our intel pointed us to a remote valley loop known as the Glenelg Horseshoe. It's a 6-kilometer road surrounded by a towering limestone cliff, wild, quiet, and absolutely cinematic. High on those cliffs is a dark spot in the rocks, known as the Diarmid and Granias Cave, the highest accessible cave in Ireland.
Our intel said that long ago in Ireland there lived a brave warrior named Diarmid, who was part of a famous group of fighters called the Fianna. The King of Ireland had a beautiful daughter named Grania. She was supposed to marry the leader of Fianna, the mighty hero Finn McCool, who was much older than her. But on the night of their wedding feast, Grania saw Diamond and instantly fell in love with him. Using a powerful magical command, she forced Diamond to run away with her, even though he didn't want to betray Finn. From that night on, Diamond and Grania were on the run, hiding from Finn and his men who were chasing them all over Ireland. They took shelter in forests, caves, and wild and lonely places. After many adventures, Finn finally made peace with the couple. Years later, he even invited Diamond on a boar hunt. But during that hunt, a huge magical wild boar attacked Diamond. Diamond bravely fought it but was badly injured. Finn had the power to heal Diamond, but he did not. Diamond died there, not in battle, but because of Finn's cold hearted betrayal. And so the love story of Diamond and Grania ended, not in triumph, but in tragedy, beneath the shadow of Ben Bulben. The Glen of Horseshoe feels frozen in that legend, a place where love, loyalty, and myth still hang in the mist. After digesting that story and the beauty of Glen of Horseshoe, we finally reached the coastal lines of the wild Atlantic Way. As soon as we got to the coast, we were greeted with this amazing viewpoint of a castle in Mullaghmore. We stopped our car and walked to look at this picturesque castle by the sea. Our intel said that this is the Classibon Castle. Standing here and watching it make us feel like we were in the Lord of the Rings movie. The sun was shining bright and we realized we still had 1 hour left for the sunset. So we kept driving, chasing the coastline, and that's when we found it, the Fairy Bridges coast.
Rugged cliffs, crashing waves, and the vast Atlantic laid out before us like a living painting. We pulled over, made our way down to the rocks, and waited. And then it happened. The clouds parted just in time for the sun to begin its descent. Golden light spilled across the sea. The sky lit up in fiery orange, and the wind carried the endless hush of the ocean. It was breathtaking.
We couldn't help but think back to where the day began, at Glencoe Waterfalls, with W.B. Yeats' poem, The Stolen Child. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with the fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. That poem was about fairies, the lure of wild beauty, the call to leave the ordinary world behind. And somehow we ended our journey in a place that felt just like that. The fairy bridges where land meets myth and time seems to pause.
In just a few hours, we crossed through poetry, mountains, myth, and sea. We chased legends and sunsets. Along the way, Ireland gave us everything: mystery, majesty, and moments of pure magic. Mission accomplished.